There's a raise, a 10 or $20,000 raise between maybe year 10 and 11, where you've shown your loyalty to the district, so you get this bump. You need to show where the jump step is and what the incentive is. And if you are starting somebody that comes into your district on a higher step, they're closer to the jump step, which is another incentive as well. So when you have a new program need, you have to mention this in the contract. You have to discuss how many staff can be needed for the program, and you have to do this 2 years in advance. Even the best laid plans sometimes will go astray. Remember, if you design this new program that you think is going to be awesome and wonderful, your STEM or your STEAM programs, those are the buzzwords right now today. We have a STEM program or a STEAM program coming in our district, but then overnight you get 75 new ELL students or special ed students. Put a big X over this program because they get the priority. So that's why you need to plan for your new programs years in advance. If you have new teaching positions, new ideas, new things, plan long-term in advance, please. So long-term costs, facilities and technology, we're going to talk about that in one of the later chapters. Technology, the best way to fund technology is through grants. If you have somebody that can write grants, great. If you get the equipment grant, though, you have to hire someone who's able to train people on that grant, though. Because if you get the grant, and it's supposed to provide, smart boards in every single classroom, but yet you have nobody who can train the person on how to use the smart boards, then you basically just have a glorified projection screen that does nothing. So that turns out to be another staffing issue because you have to hire another personnel member. So your administration, you have to hire the best staff for the least amount of money possible. Most of the time, this depends on the percentage of raise you give employees for year to year. Let me comment on this. Some districts will give a 4% raise one year and then a 0% raise the next year. That is not a motivator for teachers. You're better off giving them smaller raises, but a raise every year, and that will keep them. Don't give them, incremental raises work better than ones that just come every couple of years. That's going to increase employee motivation. So let's say you're in a contract resolution and it doesn't get resolved. When that happens, teachers quit doing their job. They leave at the end of the day, they don't sponsor extracurriculars, third parties end up getting involved, and it's a problem. Your good teachers will start to leave. If a contract doesn't get resolved, then there's a salary hike. This is why you need to prepare for this early on in advance. Obviously, where I'm from, when we had contract problems, there were salary freezes, there were benefits lost, there were teachers that would go on strike. That's really not the case here, which is a positive. But the students are the ones that suffer when there's a strike. So some other considerations in budgeting. This is the last thing that we're going to look at in this chapter. So merit pay. Some districts are going for this. I think we're 10 to 15 years away from this. If you stay building principal, in 10 to 15 years, you're going to have to worry about merit pay. Right now, you're not going to really see it that often. If you do it, you need a 360 evaluation. You need the teachers to be evaluated by their peers, by you, by the students, by the parents, by the community, because if it's just you, there's so many lawsuits involved in this that it's not even worth discussing at this point. I think you're going to see it in 10 to 15 years, but you're not going to see it now. If you can find a way to make merit pay work as part of research that you do, you will be a billionaire, not a millionaire, because nobody's been able to do it. People have tried, they've failed, but if you can do it, that's, you'll be educational leader, you might even win a Nobel Prize. So, reduction in force. Most of the time, school districts, when they have more staff than they need, or they're ready to eliminate somebody, most districts don't want to go through firing a teacher. What they'll basically do is just eliminate a position. They'll wait till people retire and say, we lost 4 teachers this year, but we can only replace them with 2. That avoids drama, it avoids problems. The district saves money, but the students are then in classes that are bigger class sizes. So that creates another challenge as well. So other dismissals, you can get rid of people because they don't have the proper teaching certificate, they don't know their subject matter, they can't establish discipline in class, they're not good teachers, and they have emotional instability. These are all justified reasons for getting rid of individuals teaching. Obviously, if somebody doesn't have a proper teaching certificate, it's a big problem, and they shouldn't be teaching in your district anyway. But there are people that are fired for falsifying their degrees and their teaching certifications as well. If there is a misconduct, you have to give the teacher a chance to remedy the situation for due process. You can't just fire somebody for one misconduct unless it was a really, really, really big deal. Then you have to mentor them, give them a chance to remedy the situation, and document that you gave them every opportunity for improvement. If you don't, there can be a lawsuit, and you can be sued in your position, and the district can be sued. So due process is important. If somebody's performing poorly, you have to give them a chance to remedy themselves. So that's it for this chapter. This is a long one, and I know that. We're going to look at budgeting for instruction. But as I've said before, you've had instruction classes. So this is something you should have a good foundation from other coursework. If there's anything else I can do to help, please let me know. Thank you.